What is going on, guys? Welcome to Get-Some. I'm SOM-Som. Today we're going to be playing some City Skylines. Now this game was originally on PC and it has since come to console, and it has flourished with lots and lots of DLC for all of us to enjoy. So we are going to play a little today, and if you're unfamiliar with this game, then sit back, grab some popcorn, and relax, and let's build a city. Let's go here. What should we name our city? Call it Townie. This all looks good. Alright, let's start. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stop time. We're just gonna look at what we have to work with. Now, of course, we're gonna build a road here first. Then, since we're going to try and plan ahead a little bit, we're going to come on out to this water over here. We're going to make a nice little square. There we go. Nice squares. Alright. Then, we're going to use wind energy for now. Now, the darker the color here, the more wind. I should say the more green, kind of teal, aqua-ish color, the more wind. As you can see, some areas have good wind, and some have none. We don't want that. We want this to be as effective as possible. So we're going to put that right there. Then, we need water. Now these arrows will show which direction the water is going. So we're going to pump water here, and then we need to drain water downstream, of course. Pump in sewage water. Now that doesn't look pretty at all, but it's going to get the job done. Alright, we have water, we have electricity. Now let's bring in some people. Alright. Let's start. How do we want to do this? Let's start with people. We will unpause time. And we will fast forward it just a little bit. And now we should get people coming in. We will also make some more roads. So we've got a good number of people here. Let's zone about half this off. So green is for just regular common people. This blue here is for commercial, like your stores, your merchants. And then orange here is industrial. That's your factories. And factories will make pollution. So we do want to try and keep them away from. Now how electricity works is it will jump from house to house. So because this wind turbine right here is providing electricity, we started the houses over here. So if we zoned houses over here, there's nothing in the middle, and it wouldn't have any electricity. It would not be active. So that's why we are branching out for now. Put some stores there. Actually, we don't want this to be green. I will tell you why shortly. So when we go to do our industrial right here, we'll do just a small section for now. It's going to create land pollution around it in an area, and so we don't want that to be near regular people. But if it's near commercial zones, it doesn't affect it. So think of the blue commercial zone as a shield from pollution. So now that that's there, we'll get some more here. We're going to end up needing quite a bit, so we're going to try and plan ahead a little bit. But pretty soon we will have an industrial zone that does not pollute any land. So here's our city right now. You can see at the bottom there that we are now making money. Our town name is Townie. We have about 169 people in it right now. That's going up because people are happy. And on the right side, those bars there, that's how much each district zone is wanted. So my city wants a little bit more industrial zone, but it is going down because it's being used. And as you can see here, all of this is filled up quite nicely. So we will plan ahead again a little bit more. We're getting an awful lot of pop-ups because this is my first time playing on this account. What a great city. I like having lots of public transport options, and here it is possible. Me too, me too. So as your population raises, you'll hit certain milestones and you will unlock more buildings, more such as police stations and schools and more roads. a fire station, hospitals, graveyards, cemeteries. The whole works. You'll unlock more and more and more as you go. Oh, they need electricity. So let's check it out. So now at the top left there, you can see we're in the yellow for electricity, which is not good. So what we will do, we'll just add another windmill. Now windmills don't have any pollution like a power plant would, but a power plant will provide a lot more power. And pretty soon here, we may have to start stacking windmills if we keep going. Because they just do not provide as much power. But it's connected, and now you can see we're back up in the green in the top left. And here's our first population, little hamlet. So now we can change the taxes and loans. We can add garbage, healthcare, education. And we'll get a little bit of celebration money for it as well. So let's get a clinic. And let's put it right there. And then let's get a school. And we'll put the school right next to it. How about that? Now we need some... So for this... Now this place, this terrain is very hilly. So we're going to try and work with it a little bit here. See if maybe we could build somewhere over here. See, the slope is too steep. Oh, right here we got a spot. Bam. We will add some more roads. Already occupied, okay. Alright. Things are looking good. City wants a lot more people to come in. And I agree. Let's get some people. Now we're gonna try and save some open space. If we... There, we got rid of a tree. Maybe that bulldozer message will stop popping up now. And, so now, right here, we can raise or lower taxes. We can see the income and expenses of everything. We can see it's all doing pretty well. We can see our budget. We can raise or lower it. And we can change it for day and night. We can change this for day or night if we want maybe to have more focus on water during the day than at night. Here we can take a loan if we need more money for something. We're going to try and avoid that as much as possible, but we may have to. And just more income and expenses. Right here we have some policies, and we will unlock more of them as we get our city going. But things like recreational use from parks and recreation, smoking ban, pet ban. You can plan your city to be more harsh or more free and open. You can do a mixture of both. Lots and lots you can do as the game goes on, but it starts out very simple, and it just eases you into it. Here we have some statistics. All that fun stuff. And then info views right here. Lots and lots of stuff. You can spend a lot of time in here. This is the fire safety, so you can see we have lots of trees, so that's a risk for fire. For crime and education, you can see my city is not very educated at all. Only 1% has even gone to kindergarten. And that's not very good. But you can see we're relatively happy. You can check out all these different stats. Land values, import and export lines, traffic. You can see how bad your roads are. That's my cat. Pollution, you can see right here. That's the creating. You can also kind of see it right here. So that's why we're going to really try and space that out. Okay, now we definitely need more people. So I'm going to start some roads coming this way. We'll leave that one there. Okay, looks good. And then we will just make all of this green at once. And what we also need to do before we forget is we need to make sure that these pipes, these water pipes, are going to include these areas. So let's just do this now. Make sure we get this area up here. And that is some ugly pipes, but it works. It will get the job done. Electricity. Yes, we're getting close, but we don't have enough money for it. So we can make more money by raising taxes, but that will reduce demand for more population as well, because people don't want to be taxed very high. See, this is coming together pretty nicely. Now one thing we're also going to do is we're going to come here to our info views. We're going to go down to natural resources. We can see we have lots of forest available. And even some ore over there. So what we can do with that is a little bit. Make a nice little road in between it. Then we will go over here, and we haven't unlocked it yet because we need more people with our industrial zones, and that'll make it so that that zone doesn't produce any pollution. And just for the sake of squares, we will clear that off a little bit. Oh, we're running out of money. So we could, at this point, take a loan, and then we will slowly pay it back with interest over time. much like real loans, if any of you are familiar with that. And so we will not be making as much money per week. Yep. Looks like we're starting to run out. So if we were a little more careful, we could go without taking it, but we're going to take it just for now, because it will make things just a little bit easier on us for the time. Now, windmills here aren't completely problem-free. They will have a problem if we keep stacking them because they're noisy, and that is windmills are very noisy. A windmill before. They are very loud. Alright. So it looks like it's becoming morning in our game. And we can just sit back for a minute and enjoy the sunrise. Alrighty. So we can see when our next milestone would be, and it's going to be pretty 650. So let's go ahead and zone. We'll get a little bit more green there. And I believe at this next milestone is where we can have districts. So what this little icon here means, there's not enough workers. And I agree. Alright, so now we get districts, we can get a bigger loan, we can get the fire and police departments. We can do a lot more things. So we'll immediately start with a police department. Actually, no, we're going to start a fire department because we need that first. There. And as you can see, those red houses are now a little more blue, or teal. And that those areas are being covered, whereas up here is not getting as much coverage. But we cannot afford more than one right now. Put a police department right there. Now, we come here. We're going to paint this district over here. And this is going to be real ugly. There we go. And that defaulted to Elizabeth Square. That's fine. We're going to have forest industry for a specialization. And now, when we specialize that for industry, it will be the lumber industry, and that won't create any pollution. And they do need water down there, because we forgot to. And they also need electricity as well, because we haven't jumped down there yet. It looks like it is jumping down there now, so that's all good. And specialized buildings that are part of a district like this, they will start at max level for their building. See, specialized industry buildings are always of the highest level, and that's good. That's great. And normally how you'll upgrade buildings is you have more educated citizens or specialized workers, which is true for a city. A city can grow if people are educated and specialized, create more jobs. It's very healthy. Alright. And eventually we'll get more power options as well, which will be very good for us, because these windmills are going to start polluting our nice view of the water. And speaking of polluting the water, we're gonna see some of that, our pollution. And pollution is something we can fix later on as we get the proper buildings, such as solar power or hydroelectric power. I wish it were more avoidable at the start, but that is not the case. And you will always have a little bit of pollution at the beginning. How well you can manage it will decide how much pollution you have. So this is one of the maps I like. It's nice scenery, I think. You got some water, you got some hills. Look at that. Got a lot of trees. But there are also different maps where you could, and lots of DLCs as well, where you have maybe a winter kind of map, and then you have, oops, I think we destroyed some houses there. You'll have winter maps where you have to provide heat as well, so you have to work with that. And there's lots of other situations that you'll work with that are kind of cool and neat. So we haven't needed any more commercial districts in a while, and I think that was... You can see we're actually losing a little bit of money now, and our next milestone is at 1,000 people. So not too far away. But we are losing money. Slowly. And we can check the education of our people. You can see that we're getting there now. We're only 83% uneducated. And so each building will have a radius that it provides its effect to. And so as we keep building down this direction, we're gonna need more buildings down there, because this kindergarten, its effect only goes so far. So as our cities get bigger and bigger, you need to rebuild a lot of the same buildings in different parts, because no one wants to drive 30 miles to go to kindergarten, right? Or walk uphill both ways in a snowstorm. And another thing is that you might be wondering, well, can't we just only have forest industry and not create any pollution at all? In theory, you can. But you need factories to produce goods. And these highways here will export and import goods that your city produces or your city consumes, much like real cities. So if we have lots of factories and we produce goods, which is the purple, then we can export some goods. But we can also see here that we're importing ores. So if we find some ore, then we won't have to import it. Much like a real city, right? Alright, so now we unlock a lot more things. Mostly, my favorite with this one is probably just parks. So, let's go to our info views. Let's go up to happiness. And we can see we're not sad. We're all doing pretty alright. Some places are, like the industrial happiness is 91% already, without any parks or anything, so that's pretty nice. But we're going to make that even higher. We're going to add, simply because we don't have any parks yet. And that made people happy. And now we're going to start filling in some of these areas that we left open for ourselves, if possible. Bouncy Castle Park. Who doesn't love that, right? We'll put that right there. You can see the area that affects people. Botanical Garden. Ooh, that is expensive. We can check out the stats for these as well, how much water and electricity they'll use, and how much it costs per week to maintain. It will also raise land value as well. So we want people coming into our city to see the nice things first, right? We want to kind of hide the industrial zones and the smog and the pollution. So we're going to put a botanical garden right there. And we'll mix it up a little bit. And we'll put a park with trees. That's a little big. So as soon as people come into, then they will see some parks. There we go. Now most places are a pretty nice color. We'll check the happiness again. And we'll see it rise as we go on here, which will be nice. And it's come that time again. We need more people. An ever-growing city, right? Something else we can check out here is noise pollution. As you can see, these wind turbines, they create a lot of noise pollution. And the highway creates noise pollution. And eventually that will get on people's nerves. And this will right here probably be the last wind turbine that we set down. I hope. Ooh, and that's not a whole lot of power we're creating for ourselves. So, what we can also do is we can check out our loan. See, we're paying 5% interest on it. And we have a little over 10,000 left. So it's about halfway paid off. We could take this loan for extra money now, which we may have to do. Or we can raise taxes. And we can see that our demand for residential zones is sorry, I had a brain fart there, is a little bit higher. So let's raise this by 2%. And then we should see the demand for it go down a little bit. And we should also see our money go up. And it does track per house. So in a smaller city, 2% isn't a whole lot of money, but as it gets larger and larger, we can do more with it. And speaking of larger, let's go back and check out our natural resources. So there's ore down there. I think we want to get to that. So we did unlock extra areas that we can buy. And we just now have enough money for it. There we go. Now we can see right here that there's going to be some ore. And we will gradually work our way toward. And there's no fertile land available on this map either, so no farming. Maybe in a future video we will we'll do some more unique things with how we build our cities instead of just squares everywhere. We'll have roads that curve and go up. Maybe something like that, and then have buildings underneath it. Or we can just go underneath, make a tunnel. As the game does progress, traffic will become a problem later on. And sometimes these are big city problems that real cities do face today as well. If you just keep going in squares, a lot of these corners here will develop high traffic problems as you go on. And it's squares are nice, but they're not necessarily ideal. Lots of turns, lots of short turns. Everyone's trying to get where they're going. But for now, it's pretty good. It's acceptable. See that it's night right now. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? That might be a toll booth or something. We can have toll booths as well onto our roads, which of course has positive and negative effects, like almost everything does. We will make more money, but happiness will go down. Let's look at our botanical garden here. You can see the little people going in. We can rename it. We can relocate it. We can change its budget. And look, the sun's rising. Red sky in the morning is a shepherd's warning, or sailor's warning. And red sky at night is a sailor's delight, or shepherd's delight. But there we are. Sun rising over the mountains and hills. It's pretty nice. It's pretty flat where I live, so maybe this is normal for you and isn't quite as ooh-ah, but I think I can appreciate it. So what we have here, there's not enough workers, so we desperately do need to get going and we need to get some more people. So, what we're going to do is we're going to have this whole square. Make sure it's got water. Yep. And this right here is the same thing, not enough workers, not enough educated workers. Let's check out our kindergarten. We can see we're getting there, but it is not very good right now. Let's see what milestone we need to get the high school. I think it's the next one. Lots and lots of buildings with the next milestone. But I don't think it includes the high school. So what we're going to do to speed this up a little bit is we are going to take this next loan here. Oh, we do have the high school. We have it already. Okay. And the high school's range is quite a bit higher than normal. So we're going to try and put it in a place where our current city and where our future city can be. So we're going to put it right here. There. And now this will make our city have well-educated people gradually over time. And we are going to put another kindergarten down here, as well as another fire department, because we are going to need that quite a bit. See, our hazard is 21%, which is still pretty high. We can see that we still want more people, and we're actually losing money now too as well. So set our roads to straight again for now. I'm just going to keep things a little simple this video. Slope too steep. That's not good. Play here. Oop, slope too steep. Slope too steep. Tongue twister. We're going to get what we can here. Some more squares. Oh, okay. So what we have here, this was a commercial building. So we can leave that building there, and it won't lose its level if demand comes again for commercial buildings, or we can demolish it now and make people a little happier. For now, we're going to leave it in hopes that people come back. Make sure our water lines are good. And we're definitely going to be needing more electricity too as we go. So we're going to try and keep that in mind. We're going to make sure we're here at the corner. And we're going to get all of this one big block. And then with more people, you need more jobs. So we're going to get the other half of this going for more forest jobs. And we are currently losing money, but as you can see, that will hopefully be fixed here. More people, more money. Yep. See, more houses are being constructed. Nope, and we're losing more buildings here. We're gonna hold on to them for now and try and hope that we can bring some people back in the future. A big problem we're going to face is working with this hill. We're not actually going to be able to build a whole lot there, but as we expand towards the beautiful sunset over there, we will go and get that ore, and that will provide us with some ore and raise our economy as well. Now we need electricity. You can see that our residential tab is pretty low, but I don't think there's another loan we can take. In fact, we'll pay this loan. And then what we're going to have to do is take that loan again and very quickly build another windmill or wind turbine so we have power. And even with that turbine there, we're slowly creeping back into the yellow again. So we will make one more while we still have money. You can see our industrial zone is starting to go up. Very nice, very good. Everything's looking pretty good. Why are you cutting down all the trees? For money. Are we having electricity problems again? We are. I keep telling myself one more, and then I keep making more. But we don't have much other option at the moment. Want to try and get a good number. Okay, so what we can actually do here is I should have done this at the beginning because I knew I wouldn't need to, but we can lower our budget for water. Let's say 20%. We could probably even go more, but and $611 per week. And as time goes on, that number will drop because we just lowered our budget, thereby saving money. And then all we have to do is keep an eye on that, see how the arrows are gradually going down now. And then we could actually probably go a little bit more. At the start of the game, you can take that down to maybe 50%. And then when we need to, we can just raise our budget again instead of building more water pumping stations. Alright. So we're making money again. Our population's rising. Let's check out our district again here, Elizabeth Square. Oh, there's our next milestone. We have taxis now and ferries, and we can do the ore specialization. Recycling, we can have policies now. New roads, that'll come in handy in the future. Cemeteries. Uh, Lots of disaster response buildings. Bus depot, taxi depot, advanced wind turbine. So what this will do is this goes in the water, which is something we may need. We can see right here, this is probably the best spot for that. Yeah, 10 right there, that's pretty decent. But it's expensive, costs 12,000, twice as much. We have elder care. Extend the lifespan of elderly. That sounds good, right? Let's go ahead and keep our elders alive. We should find a good spot for it. Right next to the botanical garden. I think our elders will like that. That child health center. What will this do? Increases birth rate. Yeah. Sounds good, right? Let's find a good spot for this. Hey, perfect. Now our city is growing. We're adding more and more amenities. Average health, 73%. Could be higher, but it could definitely be on pollution. Yikes. I hate seeing this. But it isn't that bad, realistically. Actually lower. If you remember, we were at 7%. But water pollution is definitely getting worse as well. And there will be ways that we can mitigate that in the future. But these are all real problems that cities have now, of course. Where does your trash go? Where does your sewage go? Oh, and we have our first death. Okay, Google, stop.
By the way, you can also just say stop without having to start with, hey, followed by Google.
So we see here, we have our first dead person. And so we need a cemetery. Unfortunate for them, the city doesn't have enough money for a cemetery. There's no loans we can take. We want to be really careful about raising taxes to make money. Because obviously people like making money and not giving it to the government, of course. Because our government is too broke to afford a cemetery. We probably shouldn't put a cemetery right next to the elderly, right? Or maybe that's efficiency. Realistically, in this game, there is no effect to that. So we're gonna do it when we get enough money to. Because we have the space open. And cemeteries are rather large for how we have our squares set up. There we go. Yep, No more urns on the mantelpiece. And now we can look down at our meters down there. We can see the town wants everything. Want more people, more industrial. Next time. So, I hope you all enjoyed this introduction to this. We will definitely do some more. I really enjoy playing this game. And we will see you all next time.